Hi there, I'm Apo and I am puppet theater professional, performer and entrepreneur. But I'm also a visual artist. I do photography, videography. I have recently got myself a drone. On this channel, you will get exclusive behind the scenes material. I have other channels where you can see the end results, like my own webpage, for example, or my Vimeo. But at here on my YouTube channel, I'm sharing how I'm doing puppets. What do I use to film myself? Like today, we are going to be talking a lot about this. Which happens to be DJI Air 3S. So, pick your favorite poison, sit down, relax, and let's go deeper into how this air filming has changed my possibilities as a creative puppeteer or YouTuber. Let's get into that. Good to see you still enjoying the material. Now, let's get into the today's subject, Air 3S. So, as you can see, I have taped my info on top of the drone, which is needed when you are flying drones. So you have to have your flyer ID attached to a drone at all times. I have wanted a drone for a very long time. I started with the Neo and it was fun. It still is fun, but quite quickly I've realized its limitations. To my drone, which is Neo, which is not that powerful, and in this wind it was a little bit struggling, but I did find the way to fight the wind with my drone, because it is coming from one direction. Sometimes it's blasting, so I decided to go lower and closer to the ground, and oh boy, it was fun. When I was filming with Neo, I started to feel like this is amazing, but I would like to have something more. Well, let's see. I did buy Neo just to be able to start with drones, just like very many of other YouTubers. They bought Neo just to have fun, just to have quite cheap starting point for making aerial videos or even photos. I have here some list of things what I like and what I didn't like about Neo. And it's not Neo's fault. I did know what I was getting into, but I also wanted to see if aerial photography and videography was good for me all in all. And in that way, Neo is absolute bargain for what it is, and you can also have a lot of fun with Neo. So it has decent image quality. It has small form factor, which is also a big positive, but also a big negative, because it is not that resistant to wind, and also the image quality, when it is already decent, when it is windy, it even decreases the image quality even more, let alone if there is bad circumstances. Of course, when it's raining, nobody is flying. I've been using my iPhone to create some of immediate reactions when I have been flying my drone, but also did that with Neo. I haven't really posted any of these out I think that I have captured best of the sentences from these videos, which I made right after flying, so that you can have like instant reaction of what I thought about how it felt and how this thing can actually change the way that I'm flying and how I'm creating this kind of material for you guys. I'm here flying my Air 3S, as you can see from there. And yeah, believe it or not, I had only like half a battery left when I came here in this beautiful spot, what you can see from here. And you can see it more clearly in a moment. And yeah, if I would have had like just Neo, even with 3 full batteries, it would probably have been able to do almost the same, but not the same, like, because I did use the 70mm lens, which has been and will be the selling point for me for a drone like this, compared to, let's say, Mini 4 Pro, which might be on my shopping list still. But I think I'll just change my Neo to Avatar 2, but more on that later. I just wanted to record this right as I'm here at the peak, like literally. About the Air 3S. This drone is on a whole different level. Of course, the price difference is also quite significant, so it has to be. It is more big, strong, and it is at least as fast as Neo, while it's not as agile, and you can feel its size when you are flying, compared to Neo, where you can think that I can fit this going through anywhere. So that is advantage, the size for this drone, but it's also disadvantage in some ways. Here is image quality and the way to fly with Air 3S. While it is giving me more options and more stability in the shots, it still increases in price. I've been filming myself with Neo. It's quite nice actually, and in different places it works quite well. Of course, it has its drawbacks, as all of you guys know. Now, if I'm using Air 3S in similar way, here I would think that Neo actually has the upper leg towards this exact drone. And let me explain why. This is quite big drone, and when you're going into paths or places where you have a lot of branches or a lot of different things which might catch your drone, you don't really want to have this drone following you. And also, even if there's quite a bit lot more space, when you have obstacle avoidance system with this drone, it is moving sideways, up and down quite a bit to avoid those obstacles, which is fine. But in most cases, Neo could be just flying through places. Waypoint missions with this drone, which is not possible with Neo, you can set the drone even without obstacle avoidance, and you wouldn't be able to do it obstacle avoidance on. Through the forest, if you find the path, make a waypoint mission, and you can get it to fly very straight, not only very straight, but also be actually deciding where the camera is pointing when it is doing so. Because then I can be absolutely certain that it's going to be filming me in the way that I would like it to do so. With the waypoint missions, you are able to leave the controller off your hands. Now, before you do that, you should make sure several times that the drone is doing what you have made it to do. You know, there might be some things which is affecting the way that waypoints works, even if they have worked perfectly before before that time when it might not work perfectly. I have had 2 times kind of, oh, that was close moments, but I didn't trust that situation at the first time, so I was there watching it carefully at all times. But once it did it okay several times, then I knew that it's working, and I could rely on the drone so much that I can just push the start, put the controller where I can easily access it in case of emergencies, and then continue with my route. Something that you can't do with Neo. Yeah, I'll just take here a moment after filming what you will see soon. And yeah, it is quite a bit of gear right there. And I'm thinking even adding one more drone to this setup. Well, this time it's gonna be Neo, because I've been thinking of getting that Avatar 2. But I'll just stick with what I have, because quite honestly, you know, this one right here, it does, I would say, most that I would probably need. Like, and then for some stunts, if I would like to go quickly from one place to another, or if I would like to check out some places so that I don't use battery from this. At first I thought that it was gonna be like forever, that half an hour, 40 minutes. But then again, when you start to work with this and you get things done and you start to do things and plan things, all of a sudden that 30-40 minutes per battery, it's, yeah, I would say I have used now 1.5 batteries of my DJI. Canon had external power, so it was totally fine. And I think that my project, what I'm planning now doing with my big puppet, which is now in the car, and I'm gonna put it to be dried, it's gonna take like half a year to get something like the end product will be probably 10 minutes of material. So yeah, now I'm just having fun with everything, but I'm slowly gathering some material, some ideas, and repeating them, and then seeing what will work and what won't work. Yeah, so far it has been absolutely a joy to use these 2 cameras, and exactly what I was hoping and waiting for. So I'll just get back to this in the studio, and I'll do some edits. Now, would this material be enough for you to go for this drone? Neo with flymore combo and N3 goggles costs like 570 euros, and of course you want to buy DJI Care free, but this drone cost 1,670 euros. The price difference is more than 1,000 euros. Has that been worth it? Quick word from my company. I don't have any sponsors on this channel yet, but I have my art, which I have done. This has been printed on high quality plywood, and they are prints that I have designed myself from my pictures. As you can see, the similarity between these 2 picture and the mask is quite big, because I've used a lot of scenes where I have visited or places what I love. And then I have combined those sceneries with my masks, which I have done. These masks are also for sale, but these prints can be had for quite a bit less than those masks. I've printed 50 of each, and I have a couple more of these. You can have a look at links, and should you want to have something more special, like carved mask for example, get in touch, because a lot of things can be done. But now let's get back to the video. Let's try to wrap this whole thing up. What I like about Air 3S is the size, the confidence, and the quality what it brings on the table. I would say that it is pretty much what it said already on their website, even if so far I have not even touched all of the features what this drone is packed with, because as you even look at this, it's full of tech. Just by looking at it like this, you can see that this thing is loaded. But even if I'm filming mostly like 48 frames per second to get nice possibility to match it with my 24 frames per second timeline, or if I'm shooting 30 frames timeline, then it would be good to shoot 60 or even 90 or 120 frames per second to get slow-mo. But I will touch that later when I will see that fitting. What I don't like about this drone is the fact that it only has 2 cameras. But also it is a little bit large at the time. It is really chewing up a lot of space from my camera bag, because I want to have all of these batteries with me, even if I would be using just one of them. But I might want to have, if the moment is good, I might want to fly more. So I need to have all of that with me at all times. And also these NDs, they have proven to be very good to give me kind of effect what I have been looking for. Has that been worth it? Yes. If you need 2 cameras, if you would like your drone to stay up in the air more than 35 minutes, and if you would really need the power and more wind resistance, which I have actually tested with this drone, and it survived perfectly 16 meters per second winds. It told me to get me down from up here. It's too windy, but it survived that like a champ. No problems. My Neo would have been already in another country, and Finland is not that small after all. Make sure, if you like this or found this valuable or entertaining, this video, please hit like, subscribe, and share. Leave a comment below what kind of drone you have, or what kind of drone you would like to have. I have Neo and I have Air 3S now. I will definitely have more FPV centered drone in the future. Okay, see you in the next ones. And don't miss my previous videos. You might see that I'm quite a bit working on my final look of these talking head videos. So from there you can clearly see that I'm going towards more professional content for you guys. See you.